So one of the things that's really important when we talk about wholehearted facilitation is learning how to guide the conversation. In order to do that, what you want to do is really listen deeply, ask great questions, probe for understanding, and then promote accountability. So what does that look like? We've talked before about how important the skill of listening is in everything that we do. And so when we listen to people who speak during our sessions, we want to listen from all levels. We want to listen with our eyes, we want to listen with our ears, we want to listen with our heart. All of our senses should be involved in me understanding and being present for the person who is speaking up. Oftentimes as facilitators, people will be thinking about what they need to say next or what they need to do next. But what that does, it creates a barrier between you and the person. So we can't think ahead. We only can think in this moment and listen to what they're saying. Sometimes what we hear and what they're saying are two different things. And so that's the reason why we have to ask questions. I always say ask questions from a place of intellectual curiosity, where you really want to understand the person's heart, mind, and intent. So I'm going to ask the person, tell me more about what you're saying, or can you give me an example of what you mean by that? You really want to know if they tell you that someone in their life behaved in a certain way. Sometimes I'm intellectually curious and I say something like, what do you think made that person behave in that manner? Because you're trying to help that person process, but you're also asking questions that will take them much deeper. As we do this, I always believe it's crucial to check for understanding. And what that means is you say something like, what I hear you saying is this. Am I right about that? Because we sometimes listen based on the baggage that we carry or the assumptions that we make. So we have to be really clear about what the person is saying. And sometimes, would you believe that people actually struggle with what to say and how to say it? And so for that reason, we want to ask the person, are we understanding what they are trying to get across? And then the very last thing is that we promote accountability. And the way that we promote accountability is not by allowing people to ask us what should they do or what would we do? Because we know we only have a sliver of the story. So instead of us being accountable for the solution, we turn that solution back to them. And the way we promote accountability is we ask people, based on what you've thought about, based on what you've heard, what do you want to commit to doing? Or what has changed for you? And what do you want people to hold you accountable for? At the end of the day, they have to be responsible rather than someone else. So if we want to guide the conversation, we have to be intimately involved, learning to listen, ask questions, probe and check for understanding, but then also to promote accountability so that they're in charge of the solution. If we do that, what we'll find is wholehearted facilitation is like this intimate dance, and that if you go with the flow, as if you're listening to music, it will all turn out right.